refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of BWT. I'm your host, Teddy, and today we'll be recapping the wild card round in the playoffs for the MLB, and we will also be predicting the division series. Before we do that, I want to make sure that you guys are liking this video and any other videos that I have. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on any videos that I drop throughout the playoffs. And also want to make sure you guys are showing the rest of the Refuse to Lose community some love. We've got plenty of shows that cover all types of sports that have you covered. We've got CTC, Carl Talking College, gives you everything you need to know about college football and college basketball. We've got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs, gives you everything fantasy related, who to bench, who to cut, who to sit, all that. We've got RBO, Real Ballers Only. That's with Vaughn. That's an NBA show. Preseason has started up, so he will be giving his previews and stuff like that pretty soon. You got Dave's Doghouse. Gives you the highlights and the lowlights of the sports world. We've got Unfazed. That's with Joe and AJ. That is two of the top debaters in the Refuse to Lose community going at it here weekly. They go live Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tune into that. They have this Pick'em challenge where they go through every game in the NFL and they predict who's going to win or not, and they also keep track. And then we have the boxing show of the channel in the red corner. That is with Tay, Ricky, and Tomo, and that is one of the top shows on the network, so make sure you tune into that. And of course, you cannot forget the Refuse to Lose show, which is with Joe, Dave, and Tomo. Covers everything in the sports world. They go live every Tuesday and Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in. If you want to subscribe to any of those channels that I just listed, the links are in the description. So show us some love, and we will have you covered for everything sports related. Now we get into the wild card round, right? One second. So we get into the wild card round. The first series that we will be going over is the Dodgers and the Reds, because that was the quickest series to finish in the wild card round. Dodgers ended up sweeping them into, I predicted 3, I thought Hunter Green was going to steal a win in game one, but that didn't happen. First batter of the game, Shohei Ohtani, home run. Uh, First game, the Dodgers ended up winning 10-5. Ohtani had 2 home runs. Teoscar Hernandez also had 2 home runs. And then you go to game two, and the Dodgers also win that game. The score was 8-4. The highlight of that night for the Dodgers was Mookie Betts getting 4 hits. And there was a couple instances in that game where I was second guessing Francona's decisions on intentionally walking batters. There was a point in time where he walked Shohei Ohtani to get to Mookie Betts to load the bases up. I get the righty-righty matchup or whatever, but you got to go with who's hot at that time. Mookie Betts was 3 for 3 or 3 for 4 at the time. He ends up coming up with another clutch hit after the intentional walk, so that brings in runs, making the decision backfire for the Reds. And then earlier in the game, they decided to intentionally walk Freddie Freeman to load the bases for Teoscar Hernandez in game two, who just came off of a game one performance, where he had 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, was the leader offensively for the Dodgers. So those were pretty shaky decisions by Terry Francona to walk those guys and put them on in RBI chances for the Dodgers, and they definitely took advantage of that. Now we go over to the Cubs and the Padres series, where the Cubs ended up winning in 3 games. I predicted the length of the series right, but the winner was wrong. I had the Padres because of their star power, and their stars did not come out to play at all. Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis were combined 2 for 27, I believe, with one home run, and I don't believe Tatis got an extra base hit this series. They were very anxious, wanting to do something, swinging at balls out of the plate, out of the strike zone, and they were getting themselves out. They really weren't letting the Cubs execute pitches. They were fishing and trying to get something done. And when you're doing that at the plate, you're not in a good spot. You're giving the advantage to the defense. So that's how that happened. Game one, the Cubs ended up winning 3-1. Suzuki and Kelly ended up hitting back-to-back home runs, which ended up being the deciding runs in the game. And then in game two, the Padres ended up winning 3-0. Manny Machado with a 2-run home run for his one and only hit in the series. And then we go to game three, where the Cubs just hit. Everybody was hitting on the Cubs. Yu Darvish got pulled in the second inning with runners on. The Cubs were playing team baseball, and that's why they ended up winning that game. And they ended up winning the series and going on to face the Brewers in the NLDS. And the Dodgers end up advancing and facing the Phillies in the NLDS. And we go to the Tigers and the Guardians. Tigers ended up winning in 3, which is exactly what I predicted in this series would happen. Screwball, lights out game 1, 14 Ks, gives the Tigers enough to win the game 2-1. And then go to game 2. Tigers lose 6-1. Bo Naylor ended up having a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning, where the Guardians really broke out of their little slump. They hit a home run in the first inning, and then they didn't get any runners on, any runners in scoring position or anything like that until the 8th inning, and they capitalized and took a 5-run lead, and they ended up getting the win to tie the series up and force a game 3. In game 3, the Guardians end up losing 6-3. And this time it was the Tigers with a big inning in the seventh, ended up scoring 4 runs. Very, very crucial play where there was a ground ball to Spencer Torkelson. Will Vest covers with runners on second and third. Jose Ramirez hit it, and he hit the ground ball. Vest goes to cover first base. The throw gets hit off his glove, and then it goes towards the dugout. Ramirez rounds the bag, goes to second, gets thrown out at second base. Down 3, I don't like that. I get being aggressive in that situation, but with a big RBI guy in Kyle Manzardo in the on-deck circle, you got to trust your guys. You got to give them a shot with runners on to make something happen. And Ramirez gets thrown out at second base, ending the inning, and that was the momentum that the Guardians thought they had out the window. The Tigers advance to face the Mariners in the ALDS. And then we go to the Yankees and Red Sox. Yankees ended up winning in 3, which is exactly what I predicted. I wanted to go 2, but Crochet in game 1 was absolutely dominant. 11 strikeouts. The Yankees ended up losing game 1, 3-1. And then they come back in game 2. They start Ben Rice. First pitch he sees, 2-run home run. Gotta love it. And then they started Jazz Chisholm. He ends up being the winning run, the game-winning run. He was on first. Austin Wells hits a single, 3-2 count. He was on the move with the pitch, so he was able to score and get the win. Yankees win 4-3. And then game 3, Cam Schlittler. That's his game. A message to Red Sox fans: don't go on social media talking about players' moms, right? Doesn't matter who you are. Don't do that, because that's just giving them bulletin board material, and that's exactly what Cam did. He went out there through 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, the only time in MLB history for somebody to do that, go out and have a 8-inning debut with 12 Ks and no walks. So extremely bright future for the kid. Yankees end up winning the series, and they advance to the ALDS to go up against the number 1 seed Blue Jays, right? I just want to give a quick little message to all you Red Sox fans. There's been a lot of people saying, oh, you guys beat a minor league team or blah, 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 this and that. That wasn't the case when you guys won game 1, right? There was nothing about a minor league team or, oh, Roman's hurt or nothing like that when you guys won game 1, right? You guys have your stars that you paid. Trevor Story, right? Ended up having an incredible season, ended up being healthy, and was a key part to the Red Sox success this year. Alex Bregman, you guys went out and gave him the amount of money that you guys gave him. Aroldis Chapman, best closer in the game this year. Crochet, best starter in the game. You can put him in a group of 3-4 guys that I would not be mad at you putting him over or putting over him. There's actually 2 guys. Crochet, it goes Screwball, Skeens, and Crochet. In that order, any 3, it really doesn't matter to me because those guys are absolutely disgusting. But yeah, man, Red Sox Nation, I feel really bad for you. You guys were all, oh, we beat them. We were 9-4 in the regular season and blah, 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 and all this and that. And they haven't beat us since 2003 in the playoffs and that. But the moment that a Yankee fan brings up history, it's, oh, no, you can't use that. You can't bring that up. What have you done for me lately? This stupid little catch a flight to Cancun. See ya. Red Sox suck. Never forget that. All right. We are going on to talk about the divisional round of the playoffs. We will start with the Phillies and the Dodgers. This is going to be a very exciting series. Star-powered lineups through and through. We've got Harper, Schwarber, Trey Turner for the Phillies. And, of course, you got Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie, Teoscar, all those guys. Yamamoto has been pitching lights out recently. The one thing that I want to talk about is the starters for the Phillies. The lefties that the Phillies have as starters in their rotation will play a big role in keeping Ohtani off the base. If you keep him off the base, the Dodgers don't really excel, right? And I believe with Christopher Sanchez and what's his name? I always forget his name. Oh my goodness. It's Christopher Sanchez. And then you got Ranger Suarez. Yep. Christopher Sanchez gets game 1. Okay. And then game 2, we don't know yet. But yeah, the lefties in the starting rotation for the Phillies will play a big role in this series. If they can, like I said, if they can keep Ohtani off the bases, they have a very good chance of winning these games and potentially this series. The thing that I'm concerned about for the Dodgers, obviously, is their bullpen. They had some pretty big offensive numbers in the wild card round with scoring 10 and 8 runs, but their bullpen let up runs late in games, and there were points where Roberts had to warm up guys that he didn't really want to warm up in blowout games to try to save them later. We got our first comment of the show. We got my boy Carl, host of CTC. He said he's got Dodgers, Brewers, Tigers, and Yankees. I like that. I'll give you my prediction in a few. I'm just getting to the division series, right? But yeah, the bullpen for the Dodgers is a concern. It's been a concern for the last half of the season. But with the addition of Roki Sasaki in the bullpen, that could help them out tremendously. So expect to see him coming out of the bullpen to face righties or lefties. It doesn't really matter. I don't think he's going to be a righty guy or anything like that. He's going to be a guy to go out there and get the innings out of the way. But with that being said, we go to my prediction. Carl says that is very true about the Dodgers bullpen. Yes. Yep. So we go to the prediction for this series. This one's tough. But I will be going Phillies in 6. Yeah. That's just what it is. I got the Phillies winning in 6. And we go to the next series. We got the Cubs and the Brewers, right? Cubs offense was good, not great, good. We were able to see guys like Suzuki and PCA was getting hits. Suzuki was hitting the ball out of the park. Michael Busch continues to hit the ball very well. Kyle Tucker's name didn't really get much buzz this past series, but I feel like he's going to play a big role. He's a guy with experience going deep into the postseason, and so he's going to be big for these young guys. And Dansby Swanson, I want to give a shout out to Dansby Swanson and how his glove played a big role in beating the Padres. He made some key plays in some key situations to keep the Padres off the board, preventing them from scoring runs. And the kid, he's if you don't know Dansby Swanson, man, he's one of the best defensive shortstops in the league. No questions about it. He's got one of the quickest releases in the MLB, and that's because he lacks arm strength, but he makes up for it with his release. And with the Brewers, it's going to be Yelich and Jackson Churio, and then everybody else, right? They have done a tremendous job all season of the supporting cast playing a big role in games when they had Churio out for a little bit. Yelich was down for a bit, and even when he's slumping, you got guys like William Contreras. They went out and got Andrew Vaughn at the trade deadline. So I think this is gonna be a very fun series. Bryce Terang, Sal Frelick, those guys. It's gonna be a fun series. But their starting pitching, the Brewers' starting pitching, is what's going to win them this series. I am going with the Brewers. When I had originally predicted my postseason bracket, I had the Cubs losing in the wild card round and the Padres winning, and then the Padres advancing to the NLCS. But now that the Padres are eliminated, I think the Brewers have what it takes to beat the Cubs, being a division rival. They've seen them 13 times in the season. The Cubs did win the season series 7-6. Slight margin, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But you can really just throw regular season records out of the window when you're talking about postseason play, as you see by what happened between the Yankees and the Red Sox. We've got another comment here. Boy, Carl said, Dodgers starters gotta hope they go 7 phenomenal innings and hold it. Yeah, 100%. And the only guys that I think there's maybe two, 3 guys in the rotation that I'm confident in going that long, which is Glasnow, Ohtani, and Yamamoto. Snell, his last start in the wild card round was the longest start of his postseason career, and he's been to the postseason multiple times before this year. So I think longevity has been his issue when pitching in the postseason. Hopefully he has it figured out for the Dodgers' sake, but again, I still got the Phillies in 6 in that series. I got the Brewers in 6 as well. Brewers in 6. Now we go to the Tigers and the Mariners. Shout out to my boy Carl. He is a Tigers fan. They advanced to the ALDS. Javi Baez played lights out in this past wild card round. Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Tariq Skubal, studs. And then you got, on the Mariners side, you got Cal Raleigh, who had a 60 home run season, potential MVP year, led the league in home runs and RBIs, most home runs by a switch hitter, most home runs by a catcher, all this. Then you got Julio Rodriguez, and bringing back Eugenio Suarez was big for them offensively. But yes. Yep. Carl says, besides Screwball, Javi was MVP 100%. Yep. And he also says, shout out to Kerry. Yes, Kerry Carpenter. Yep. He can hit. The Mariners won the season series 4-2. What scares me about the Tigers is their lack of offensive production. and you're going up against a team who is starting pitcher heavy. They got guys like Brian Wu, George Kirby. These guys are phenomenal starters in the league. The Mariners have always struggled with getting offense, but they never struggled with pitching. So that's it. This is going to be a tough series. This is going to be a very tough series. It's going to be a fun series to watch because both offenses, I feel like, can explode at any given time. But offense got to do better. Also, our bullpen has to be better. Yep. Yeah. Like I'm saying, man, offense. There was times in the game where I don't know. You just bad at bats, quick at bats, letting the pitchers go deep into counts, stuff like that. Then we have another comment from Carl. I do wish we had all our starters, though. Yeah. I mean, everybody does. But at this point of the year, nobody is 100% healthy. Nobody. Not one single player is 100% healthy. He also says he's definitely taking Mariners starters on strikeouts. Yeah. Yep. I'll be there with you, bro. I'll be there with you. But I got the Mariners winning this series in 7. I got the Mariners winning in 7. Schoolball's going to pitch 2 games in this series, so those are 2 wins for them. I feel like they scrape off another win, force a game 7, but not having enough on the offensive side of the ball to win this series. So Carl, I'm sorry. You can use this as bulletin board material, but I've got the Mariners in 7. Yeah, I've got the Mariners. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Carl says they're down 2 or 3 pitching starting pitchers, and yeah, it does suck. Right? But you have to adjust, right? You got to figure out what's who's clicking at that certain time, right? And Carl says all good. Yep. Yeah. If you know Carl, he's one of the guys that you don't really want to go up against because he's the nagging fan. Like he will comment about every little play and like, but it's fun. The trash talking will be fun during this series. I'm not really a Mariners fan. I'm just picking them to win this series, but because he's a Tigers fan, I know he's gonna take some shots when he can. So I'm ready for it. So now we go to the last series of the divisional round. We go to the Yankees and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays won the season series 8-5, which is why they are even in this position, because the Yankees and the Blue Jays finished with the same exact record in the regular season, but because the Yankees lost the season series, they had to play in the wild card round, and the Blue Jays were able to secure the number 1 seed, home field advantage throughout the American League playoffs. If they meet the Brewers would have the home field advantage because they are the number 1 overall seed with the best record in all of MLB. On the Yankee side of the baseball, you got Aaron Judge, Ben Rice, Jazz Chisholm, Anthony Volpe has been playing lights out in the playoffs. He's batting over 300 in 17 games. Austin Wells, the Baby Bombers, looking good. Austin Wells has been looking really good at the plate these last couple weeks. Again, Ben Rice has been playing lights out, batting over like 375 in his last 20 games. So that's why you got to keep him in the lineup. Paul Goldschmidt has been playing good as well. I really like the fact that we have the ability to choose who goes out there in any given night, right? With the moves that were made at the deadline, with adding Caballero, Ahmed Rosario, and then the guys like Camilo Doval, David Bednar, who was lights out in the wild card round, pitching all 3 games. David Bednar, Devin Williams, who's the other one? Oh, Jake Bird, but he never made the major league roster. He's in the minors. But yeah, it's great to see that the moves that were made in the regular season at the deadline played a key role in the playoffs. On the Blue Jays side, you got Vladdy, you got Kirk, you got George Springer. No Bo Bichette for this round. He is still injured. That's a key part of their offense. But they've got guys like Dalton Varsho and Ernie Clement, like no-name guys that have been putting on all year, and now it's time for them to really shine, and I want to see what they're going to be able to do. I've been calling the Blue Jays frauds all year because they win in the luckiest ways. So this is exactly what I wanted as a Yankee fan, to go out there and have the ability to knock them out and send them home, right? Carl says this series is going to be tough. It is. It's going to be a tough series. And to me, the Blue Jays starting pitchers don't scare me. Not at all. Not at all. They have one arm, Kevin Gausman. That's it that I'm really worried about because he's a veteran guy and he knows how to get the Yankees hitters outs because he's been in the division for so long. But other than that, I'm not really. But I wouldn't say I'm scared of Kevin Gausman. Right? He's just somebody that could potentially halt this offense. Yes. Yep. Kyle says. Gausman is very hittable. Yes, he is. So it's going to be a game of the hitters for the Yankees getting their pitch and not missing it, because he's going to make some very good pitches because he's a very good pitcher, right? That's just what he does. He's got very good off-speed stuff that looks like it's going to be in the zone and then last second drops off the table. So Yankees have to be disciplined and have a good eye at the plate in order to execute their plan in that at-bat. But, of course, you know who I'm rocking with. I got the Yankees. I think the Yankees finish them up in 5. Yankees in 5, right? Yankees in 5. And go on to the ALCS to get 4 more wins and then potentially go on to the World Series. But that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Those who commented, appreciate you. Again, make sure you guys are liking this video. Share it with any baseball fans that you may know. I will be dropping videos on my Instagram at @that_kid_Mercado talking about what's been going on in the playoffs. So make sure you guys are following me on Instagram at @that_kid_Mercado. Again, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to everyone else on the network as well. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. And until next time, peace. But before I go, never forget, the Red Sox suck.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.